everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing a session for a client, so I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in booking a session with me, you can do so at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you again. Thank you so much for sharing with us here on YouTube. So everybody watching, I will put a link in the description to previous sessions I've done with this client. We are going to be doing another healing session with Source. The last two are extremely interesting, different. Both of them were slightly different. So I can't wait to see what this third experience is like. Okay. All right, I'm so ready for this. Here we go. Healing session with Source. Okay. So let's start here. I feel like I'm the bark of a tree, and there's like a knob on the bark, and the knob represents my nose. I don't feel like I'm exactly the tree. I feel like I'm more like the bark on the tree. And there's a stillness that's rigid, okay? And it's almost like you're trying to go from not necessarily within the tree, but the skin of the tree, the clothing of the tree, the bark. You want to transition from this bark to being a full-fledged life form that runs and jumps and laughs and sings. And to be this bark is not satisfying. It lacks diversity. It lacks creativity. It lacks more sensory experiences. They're showing me that the skin of the tree, it's like, let's say the tree represents the divine, and when there is a oneness or a wholeness within the spirit of the tree, it is truly connected with all, okay? But when you are at the skin of the tree, there is what is like a separation or a lack. There's not the experience of the wholeness. And what I find interesting here, instead of going within the tree to access that, you're wanting to escape the tree entirely. You're wanting to escape by releasing yourself from the skin of the tree to become a life form, something different, something of your own kind, okay? So let's just say the spirit that you are in the skin of the tree, in the bark, leaves the bark and now becomes a human. Let's just say it like that, okay? But the tree is asking you to go within the tree. It's almost like you can't wrap your senses around a process that goes in a direction that is different than what feels to be the next step. The next step is to go on this adventure and this experience, but to access the wholeness, it isn't to become separated from the wholeness. It is to go within the wholeness. And you find freedom separated from the wholeness. So then you must go within the wholeness to access that, okay? And you are not into it. I'm like, go into the tree. Just go into the tree. You'll find everything you need in the tree. And you're like, no, you're really not digging this idea. I know what I want. I know what I want. All right, I want you to ask your heart. What does your heart want? This is different. We are going to go truly into the bark of the tree. We're going to actually feel full-fledged connected with it. It's like immersing yourself in something that has been too repetitive. It's old and boring, and I want something new. and to really immerse yourself in something too familiar where it's sort of like wrung itself dry. You want to go beyond that experience. And now to go into what's wrung itself dry really is not satisfying. So, but we need to get saturated in this for a moment. Starts to splinter, starts to hurt you, almost like it's hurting it's hurting all over your skin. All over your skin. There's pricklies all over your skin, like little miniature splinters everywhere, all over your skin. Becoming saturated in this bark is painful. And it's like an eye roll. Like, it's like being in 2nd grade and then being in 3rd grade and then being in 4th grade, and you're looking at all these grades you have to go into, and it's like this terrible, like back to the old drawing board again of school, and it's like school is this eternity you're never going to get out of. And so there's this feeling about it like summer's up, okay, back to school again, and it's a dismal feeling. But we're going to find joy in this, okay? How do you find joy in something that feels old, wrung out, dry? How do you find the joy in that? If it's wrung out dry, there's nothing left. However, they're saying that there is so much more here. So we need to really get to know this. And all this prickly stuff, we're just going to feel it until it disappears. When we acknowledge the feeling, then the feeling said what it needed to say, and it just disappears. And now we get to access what's beneath the surface of the feeling, okay? Oh, scary stuff. Stuff you don't know how to think about it. You don't know how to find the answers to it. You don't know how to... It's like... This is getting very nerve-wracking. You ever been through the ringer enough times? It's like, okay, universe, I've been there, done that. It's got to be a straight, narrow path for me here. Like it's nothing could possibly happen at this point because you did it to me, universe. But no, it's got to be good from here forward. It has to be. Only to fall back into the well of trauma, you know. How could you do this to me again, universe? Okay. And so there's this feeling of leaving the bark is proof or divine time that you're free to dance, you're free to play, you're free to be... there's a Rumpelstiltskin style to it, like this mischievous little funny guy. Who seems to know things that other people don't know and knows all the mysteries and secrets of the forest, and it gives you this weird sense of like extreme wonderful freedom. And there's not really the tarnish of the dark, it's just like a mischievous fun guy, okay? And then when we feel this dull, dried out bark experience, we feel the splintering pain. We look at the road that goes within, and it feels like it's things that I don't want to look at anymore. It's the same old photo album. There's the same broken record. I've heard the song a million times. I want to be done with this. And this is the annoying sound of guides saying, but there's more here. There's something more here. What else could there be? And I send you this vibe that we are on the path into the tree, and to go within the tree is to access basically source. And so to go outside of the tree is to become more separated and more of an individual experience. But you're still a part of source. And so if you want to access source, then you need to go deeper into the tree. And the only way to go deeper into the tree is to uncover what this is calling you back. You translate it as a lot of things that it really isn't. And you show me that To go back means I'm rubbing my face in the dirt. To go back means I'm eating a mud pie. To go back means, and it's none of these things actually. And so I show you to go back is a pristine view of nature. You say, but all of that is outside the tree. It's not inside the tree, it's outside the tree. I'm going to create two paths. One path where you are free to leave the tree, and we'll see where that takes us, okay? And the other path, we keep going deeper within the tree. And we're talking about the whole tree, like you become the branches, the trunk, and the roots. Like you go deep into it and you become the whole tree. And I feel like we're making progress going within the tree. So my guides are like, why are you wanting to create another path where we leave the tree? And I say, because you have this weird vibe in your heart that is pretty insistent that you really want to, and because you really want to leave the tree, even if it is from the mind or the ego's inspiration to leave the tree, I think that should be honored. I mean, you really want to leave the tree. So why do I have to convince you? Like, why do I have to actually convince you to go within the tree, which is actually what you want? You need to go outside the tree, experience what's outside the tree, to shift gears in order to long for what is within the tree, in order to shift the energy and momentum of the path within the tree. So let's just separate from the tree. Let's just do what you want. My guides are like, well, that's going to take a very long time. They're saying these things for a reason. It's like the power of following your heart if you can. And how easy it is to not follow your heart. It ends up being the long and drawn out path. Okay. Oh man, you wouldn't believe what happened. So we're leaving. So we have two scenes. It's like looking at a book and the book is open. We have one page shows you on the path within the tree. Other page, you've left the tree. We're on that page, okay? Where you left the tree. And it feels hollow. It's not what you thought it was going to be. It's not as joyful as you had dreamed it would be. The fantasy come true is actually not as great as you thought. You can't understand why, though. It's not a beautiful forest. It's decayed. There seems to be a strange... it's an infection of some kind in the trees, in the grass, in the soil. It's a overcast sky. There's no sunlight, even though it's daytime. Everything feels dead or dying. And you wonder how you will heal the forest. Because all there is left to do is try to revive the life in the forest. Otherwise, you too will die with the forest. And you look back at the tree and you say, how is it that this tree is still thriving? Everything else is dying. I see that the dark is extremely convincing. And it shows you that nothing is dying here. And it starts to give you the gift of a different kind of sight. And the sight tells you that the trees are healthy, that there's no infection here. Dance and sing and play. It's not what you think. It's actually a wonderful world. But actually the world is dying. And nothing this voice is saying is the truth. However, this truth is oddly appealing and convincing, and it is working, and it is altering your eyesight, and you're starting to see patches of decay and patches of people living their lives. Basically, it's starting to look like present day Earth, okay? And you cry and you say, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with my sight? What is wrong with the world? You don't want to go within the tree because the path is too hard. It's too difficult. But to be here doesn't feel satisfying either. What if being here is the pathway within the tree? So the discomfort you feel on the path into the tree is no different than the discomfort you feel here. And maybe the path to source is uncomfortable somehow. Just feels uncomfortable to the human. Why would that be? You try to come up with ways to fill in the blanks, basically. So ways to create happiness, pockets of joy in a decaying reality that you're encouraged to see or believe is thriving. Everybody's thriving here. I don't know why you're not thriving. Everybody else is thriving. Must be something wrong with you. And you cry, and there's a tower in your heart made out of wood. And as you cry, you clench your heart, and the heart crumbles this tower. And it starts to break apart everywhere, and there's this dismal stench that is released. And it feels like so achy and so like trembling with grief and sadness and, in a way, hopelessness. And wondering why you are different from everyone else. And there's a reminder that you are on the path within the tree. So transmute the pain within your heart. You say, but that's what I want, to be set free from, the pain. I want to be set free from the pain. I say, okay, well, let's listen to what your heart has to say, shall we? Ask your heart, how do you set yourself free from the pain? Or how do you become free from the pain? You say, your heart tells you to stand up and to walk toward what is a little girl with a big, like, bouncy ball, okay? It's really massive, like the size of herself, and she's like 3-year-old. And she's trying to dribble it. Really, it's pretty funny. And you walk past her, and you see a playground, and it's like bones without flesh. And there's a strange breeze that blows through, and there is no laughter or life force energy. And the taste of the air is different. It is smoldering. And you become one with the playground. And the clouds tell you that it is a dreary day. And you say, yes, I feel that way. All right, so we'll just put the bookmark there. Okay, let's see what the path into the tree is looking like so far. It's really hard to leave that other page. It's really hard, almost like I have to go into a totally new lifeline, and it's hard to do it. It's almost like you have to make very firm choices. And when you make a firm choice, it'll be very hard to change that firm choice. You'll have to completely rewrite the book within yourself. That's why when we have really firm belief systems, they shape our reality. It's very hard to let go of them. It's very hard to change them. It's very hard to rewrite the book. And that book goes deep, deep, deep into the roots of our core. We don't even know what those conversations are like beneath the surface of our mind. And in those realms of belief systems in our collective inner selves, you know. And I'm going to have to let you go. That's what I have to do, is let you go. And I see you inside this bark in the tree, and you are crying for yourself. And you say, I cannot save myself. I never can save myself. Why can't I save myself? And I see the tree oozes with the sap. And the sap isn't balanced for some reason. Almost like the tree is starting to decay from within. And you've given up on believing that it's a certain element of strength that the spirit realm has. You've given up and believing in that certain power in the spirit realm. And without a belief in that power, then that power doesn't exist. Therefore, what's left is an emptiness and yourself in it. So is this sap, is this decay of the tree true? Or is this too part of the illusion, part of the challenge, of the path to source? I say you have to listen to your heart. Close your eyes and don't worry about what anything looks like. What is your heart saying to you in the bark of the tree? It's saying, I'm too small. I say, okay. What else does your heart say? It's not saying I'm too small anymore. It's saying to give in to my emotions, my feelings. And it's saying that it is safe to feel small sometimes. And it is safe to feel like the world and the problems of the world are bigger than yourself. It is safe to feel that way. We all have a right to the way that we feel. And these can be very raw experiences. And you say, I have to transmute my relationship with feeling small in the face of the world and the world's problems. And how I feel I have purpose in this world. I feel small to that purpose, which is kind of an unknown, okay? You keep your eyes closed and you're digesting feelings in your heart right now, okay? And with your eyes closed and the feelings digesting in your heart, you're actually pulling the you from the other page, and you're pulling it inside of yourself. And that experience blends in with the bark of the tree. And you feel something vaguely familiar, but it feels dried up to you like dry wood. It doesn't feel pleasant. And it doesn't feel like you love yourself. And you feel the weight of yourself within yourself. And you can't shed the weight of yourself. And it's like a very heavy weight that you have to carry every single day, walks in your shoes. And I tell you to keep your eyes closed. And I want you to take some steps. Because forward, up, down, backward doesn't exist in the spirit realm. You'll always find your path. Your path is always related to what is going on inside yourself. So there is no path like we perceive a path. And then moving forward can be moving backward. In the spirit realm, it's what your energy balance is what circulates the next experience for you. So walk in a direction, move. And I keep kind of pushing you from the back, and I say, move, 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 move. And you just feel like saying, I can't, or I'm too heavy, or this is as far as I can ever go. And I just keep pushing you to just keep moving. because you're manipulating yourself, and now you are creating more and more and more the experience of weight, and you are adding more to what wasn't there before by choosing to enhance this experience with more of the heaviness by choice. Because you're resisting, you are transitioning into a space of challenge. And there's little men, they're like miniature devils, okay? And they have like perfect red devil-looking faces with horns, okay? It's like classic devil look going on here. And there's two of them in particular I see, and they're twins. And they're guarding well, if it's a doorway, the door is open, or there's no door on the hinge, so they're just guarding this opening. But what's interesting is it's both the way in and the way out simultaneously. And you are actually inside the realm, now wanting to leave the realm. And these two are extremely clever. And I tell you to close your eyes. You're anywhere you want to be. Don't listen to these guys. What they remind me of is how we get trapped and lost in our mind and our thoughts. And we get kind of circulated into heavier experiences that can last weeks, months, years if we let them. And we don't realize how we are stalling ourselves out and deciding that this is our reality and this is as good as it gets, and I'm not going to do anything else with my life, and this is just the way it's going to be. And then we become the bump on the log or the notch in the tree bark. So that's what these two remind me of. Self-manipulated influences that keep you stuck or trapped. I start to feel your emotional gut get strange. I mean, you're going to puke up liquid. It's like an acidic liquid. I can taste it. And you vomit out the liquid, and there seems to be like a metal can, but it's large, and it's not complete. It's not completely around, and it doesn't have a bottom to it. It's just a chunk of a big round can, okay? And it's trying to come up and out, and it's very uncomfortable, this is, in your emotional gut. And you are really trying to break down a force that is it's a buildup, major energy buildup that's conveniently holding you in a lower dimensional place. And you could be at a very high dimension for in comparison to many here on planet Earth, but still be in a lower dimensional place for where you could be, right? We can always go to higher and higher and higher and higher dimensions, okay? There's not just like a handful of dimensions. There's infinite dimensions. And you can continue to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow like the beanstalk and Jack and the Beanstalk. It just keeps growing. Like, how to get so high up there in the clouds? But you can just keep going further if you want to. Interdimensionally, further. All right, now that I can feel this force, I'm going to just go to it, because I know in your heart that you are trying to face this and break this down, and it's almost like you have a silent voice asking Source to help you break this down so you can feel more of the saturation of that love, more of a connection, more of the wholeness of that experience. You want to access that, to feel that. And anything that's in the way of that, you want Source to help you break it down. And, okay, so you're kind of becoming a solid here, and there's a trajectory which creates a triangle shape. And so, interestingly enough, that one of the lines is here at the throat, and the other line would be like root chakra. And then it connects to what is like a meteor out there. And it's just a black sphere, awkwardly shaped sphere. And it creates a lot of dizziness, and it makes your crown chakra dizzy. Man, is this complicated. I ask you, do you want me to remove this? And you've got this nasty Rumpelstiltskin character. And he keeps convincing you, let's have fun, let's go play and be merry and dance. But he's actually extremely manipulative. He's not good. He's definitely exposed for what he is now. And he encourages you to not ever get rid of that. Why would you ever want to get rid of that? And I say, why are you talking to him? Close your eyes and listen to your heart. Ask your heart if it's in your best interest at this time for me to remove this spherical thing. And there's a nasty, nasty infection in the heart that whispers like, no, don't do it. Okay? It's like, okay, we're talking to the light side of yourself. Can you access that? It's your inner child. Oh man. That energy is so pure and so powerful. It's like the purest part of each and every one of us is always accessible inside. And whenever we struggle to just access the light that we desperately want to access, our inner child is that bridge. Our inner child is so pure and untouched. Obviously, there's going to be many sides of inner child, so I see really tarnished inner childs, okay? But there's going to be a very pure, super ultra pure little essence in there, okay? And that's the essence that's in your heart. And it's a female energy, just like the 3-year-old that's trying to bounce a ball that's like the size of herself. And, oh wow, it's really moving. It's almost like it's as a soulmate you're familiar with. And she comes through as an unsuspecting helper, okay? She doesn't want to get your attention. She doesn't want to be obvious. She wants you to start looking beneath the surface of everything in order to see what's truly there. And what's truly there is literally right in front of you. It's right in front of you. And now that you see her for who she truly is, she's kind of, she represents the energy of a fish, okay? And she works with the element of water. And what she's not going to do it for you, she is going to help you do it for yourself, okay? And so she starts to move water with her tail, and she's moving water around in your heart, which is kind of clearing out that nasty little voice in there, and is disconnecting you from that Rumpelstiltskin guy, okay? And then it's just helping you to hear your true self speak from within, what you desire, okay? This is what you desire. And it's vulnerable to feel the innocence and the purity of that energy. It almost makes you so sad because that's who you are. And it's almost like all of life that's tarnished that makes it so hard to feel that purity because of the pain and the injustice that was done to it. It makes it like a very vulnerable energy to feel because it's too beautiful, you know? It's too pure. And it is yourself, okay? But she represents more than inner child because she's also a soulmate. She's trying to help you. You're uprooting major nasty energy. I mean, all right. As you're tuning into her support, okay, you literally upchuck, it's almost like your body goes backward like a Pac-Man mouth, and right where the heart is, this upchucks this massive black like log, okay, comes up from the earth up through your root, your sacral, your solar plexus chakra, your heart chakra, and then it comes out the heart chakra, okay, and it just shoots up and out, this major like jam, and you're like, oh, like this. It's like, how weird. We're talking about barks of trees, and this is like a tree trunk that just popped right out of you. They say it wasn't a tree trunk. It would be better to see it as just a congested, dense negative energy that just built up. You're a lot more harmonious at your heart. You're a lot more tuned into your lower chakras in a balanced way. Everything seems quite obvious. Like, how would I have ever questioned the obvious? It's so obvious. And you start walking towards the light, okay? There's still more mischief along the way, but you have to follow your heart. I mean, that's a key to this message, is constantly reminding you to just close your eyes and then ask your heart. If you're saying, I'm going to do this, or I don't know what to do, ask your heart, is this what I should be doing? What do you think about me doing this? What do I need to do, heart? What is your advice, heart? You ask your inner self, okay? You can even say, I'm going to ask my inner child located in my heart what my inner child wants me to do. That's how you're going to access the highest vibrational path for yourself, okay? All paths exist. You can have whatever path you want, okay? All right. And I start to see that this tree is really just more like a bridge again to what is just an energy space of pure welcoming of you, okay? And I see your lightest body is just absorbing into it, and it's like this orangish glowing liquid. And you let yourself become a part of all the consciousness within this one energy, and it's extremely rehabilitating. And I see that you're going to rest here for a time, okay? And I see that as you rest, you send a lot of healing back to yourself, and it's starting to break off what is a really dried up outer crust, and it looks like the bark of a tree, okay? And that's just starting to bust off of you, and you look like you have fresh new baby skin. But it's more like scabs also. It also reminds me of scabs that are healing completely without any scars. And I see you going through a time of meditation. Like, it's almost like you need to alter your relationship with time, as in to slow time down. Slow time down. And everything that we've experienced is all starting to dilute, because it's a completed process. And the soulmate's a part of your heart, and is a part of you, and your inner child is helping you to access that type of experience you want to have in this life, which is that feeling of source energy and wholeness and connection and voice. I feel this glowing sensation. It's really wonderful. I really like this whole journey. It's kind of the story of the human that sort of transcends to a higher experience, and how that is accomplished. At the same time, it is being accomplished within yourself, within your energy field. It's really lovely. Thank you so much for this. And thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for your support of my clients and my YouTube channel. I hope you all have a wonderful day.